Same girl who, well, I got funny stories from 6th and 7th grade. But the next step, of course, is we're going to cut off the excess here. But the amount of pressure we use on the fondant smoother is mild. It's there is pressure, but it's gentle. And if you overdo it, you could end up causing, what you end up having to happen is if you put too much pressure up here, things will start to squeeze out. If you put too much pressure here, things will start to squeeze up. You know, everything's soft and squishy under there until it gets in the fridge and gets, you know, firmed up in the fridge. So it's going to need some, you know, TLC for a little bit. So after I cut this off, I'm going to go ahead and go around and smooth this a little bit. Just try to keep those nice sides vertical. Again, very light pressure. I notice as I do that, I'm pressing in a little bit, just very gently, and the sides are pushing the top up a little bit, so then I can go along the top and just gently smooth that out. And with a little bit of work, you're going to find that you get this pretty darn smooth on the outside. Now, is this perfect? Well, there's a couple small wrinkles that found their way to the bottom. Easy to cover up with a small border. This is very common to get a couple small wrinkles at the very bottom, because then you have, let's say I make a ribbon out of fondant, and I put a little bow there.
What wrinkle?
What wrinkle? Exactly. You know, no more wrinkles, no more problems. So if you can keep the wrinkles down here at the very bottom edge, whatever wrinkles you have, you'll find that they'll be easily concealed by a border or whatever other decor you're deciding to use. It could be that you're just using little pearls, you know, little royal icing pearls all the way around. That'll do a good job of hiding a lot of this bottom edge too. Mostly what we're trying to hide is the cardboard underneath. From there, of course, I'm going to take this and move it to another table. I'm going to wrap this in plastic. When I wrap it in plastic, I'm going to wrap it tight so it's all in contact with the cake itself. And we're going to be transporting these down to the freezer later on this afternoon, or later this evening. They'll be in the freezer from now until Sunday morning, until Monday morning. Monday morning, I'm going to pull them out. And if your plastic is nice and tight, what will happen is, of course, they're going to sweat, right? But the outer plastic is what's going to sweat. Your cake won't. And that's the key. We don't want the cake to sweat, because if it does, it's going to be, well, it's going to be a slimy mess. If we go ahead and let the plastic do all the work, when they're warming up, coming up to room temperature, they'll be beautiful, because the cake will be dry underneath, plastic will be wet, we'll be able to pull that wet plastic off, throw it away, and we'll have this nice dry cake again, ready to work and ready to decorate. Now, if you get this far today, like I said, you're in great shape. If you start to decorate today and you want to start decorating today, you're welcome to do that too, or you want to start working on some decor, you're welcome to as well. It just depends on each person. Every one of you is going to be different. So try not to compare yourself with someone who's sitting next to you, because they may be doing something very different than your cake. So you know, judge it based on what your abilities are, what you know, how, you know, your progress and your plan for your cake. As I say, if you're able to conquer the technical today, get it built, get it covered in fondant, you're in great shape, because then you can spend Monday doing all the decoration and all that stuff, and you'll be in terrific shape. Question?
You said there's a smooth and a sharp edge to the fondant smoother. Is there any technique behind utilizing them?
The fondant, the bottom sharp edge is really nice along this base. When it can just sit there and rest, you know it's level, and you know it's at least level with the turntable. The rounded edge is good for any time when you don't want it to snag on the fondant. So when I still had all that excess there, I was using the rounded edge on the bottom to make sure it wouldn't snag. Because I want these rounded edges to just ride along the bottom without catching on some piece of fondant. But these corners are a little sharper, and I was afraid that if I went around with those, I might get caught, snagged, and it might pull it, you know. So that was kind of my strategy behind that, was just trying to avoid that possibility. You'll find that other fondant smoothers look different. If you look at Ashley's, Ashley's has a full rounded end on hers. Hers is the typical Wilton fondant smoother. Works great. You know, it's a great smoother. It costs about $4 or $5. It's very cheap. I have a bunch of these though. I bought these on sale, and these are made by someone else. I can't read the name on there, but it's a different company, and I've got a bunch of them. Everybody can use them. They work terrific, and I think that, you know, they're as good as the Wilton ones. Wilton ones are just as good as this, but you know, use whatever you like. I think the fondant smoothers are a really wonderful thing to get your fondant looking nice and smooth.